When analyzing a commercial real estate investing opportunity, you always want to ask yourself, not just what the projected returns are, but what is the execution risk involved in achieving those returns, right? Just because somebody's advertising a 2.5x or a 3x return doesn't mean that it's better than a 2x or a 1.8x return on your capital. As an example, the higher the return, usually there's more execution risk. And it is a sponsor's job, but also an investor's job to understand that execution risk involved. As an example, if there's a deal that is forecasting a 3x return, but it involves taking a property that is 70% occupied, bringing it to 90% occupied, renovating 50% of the units and trying to achieve a $300 rent bump, that is extremely high execution risk. There's a lot of things that could go wrong as you're trying to get your leases up while also increasing revenue. That's almost usually impossible. So things of that nature would kind of be a yellow or even a red flag versus something that's more low execution risk. And I'll give an example on our current acquisition in GreenTree Place. The seller kept 25% of the units at 7.5% below market rents. The reason they did that was because they promoted goodwill to their investors and they wanted to start what's called an impact fund where they were going to provide affordable housing to the community. Now, when we looked at this acquisition, we see that the market is 95% occupied, meaning there's a lot of demand and everybody is charging market rent. We're actually on the lower end of that. So for us, that was a very low execution risk business plan by us taking 25% of those units and bringing them just to market rent, which would be a 7.5% increase. We would add an additional $1 million in value to the property. So these are some examples of high execution risk versus low execution risk. And whenever you're analyzing a sponsor's business plan, you should always be asking, how many levers do they really need to pull in order to accomplish this?